Welcome to an experience similar to ones that you've had before. Yes, another podcast featuring a couple of guys who think that they're funny. Two men, one microphone. This is Spoiled Rotten Movies.
That's right. Spoiled Rotten Movies.
Welcome to the Rotten Movies podcast, the game show extravaganza, y'all. Welcome to another Marvelsode Monday, where we're going to be
Are you enjoying this yet? Are you enjoying these Marvel codes?
I am accepting that it's happening. Does that mean anything? I think my guard's starting to let down a little bit.
Yeah. They're not all hot garbage like you thought they were.
No, there are a lot of hot garbage, but it's not all hot garbage. There's one specificular. That's not a word.
Specificular. No, that's exactly what I was saying.
Particular, specificular.
Right.
Specificular. Specific piece of hot garbage in this movie that I made a note of, and I made sure I wanted to talk about. But we'll get there when we get there. That being said, how was your week, man? How you doing? How was your weekend?
I'm doing great. How about you?
We're doing another weekend in quarantine. It can't get better than that, man.
No, never does.
Another weekend in quarantine.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I'm sharing our post so everybody.
So am I. So I was being quiet as well.
Live now. We're being quiet.
We're live. Yeah. Listen to us. Watch us. Yay. All right.
Talk to me.
How's your week been? How's your week been?
My week, man. It's been all right. Me and the wife, we watched the new episode of Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
We had talked about.
So did I.
Dude, it was a good one. Like, I know last week I was complaining about Rick and Morty lacking heart or whatever that specific quality was. This episode had it, and I really enjoyed it. It was just
agreed.
It allowed for some meta commentary, which I know I complained about last time, but it was the right amount of it. It was not the entirety of the episode, man. It was really good, man.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun, and I think the big thing was we knew that, like, we kind of saw the writing the way that it actually ended up. We knew that Morty wanting this rewind thing was going to screw him over in the end, but the way that it screwed him over in the end is completely different than what I thought that they were going with. So them pulling the rug out for you when you knew you were going to get the rug pulled out from under you is always fun to see.
What did you think was going to happen? What was your hypothesis going into it?
I don't know. I thought that, like, the worst part was Jerry screwing it up before him and hitting the rewind button when he finally figured out that everything was fine. And then I'm not going to spoil anything, but
I'm gonna spoil it. That's what we're doing. That's our show.
I guess that is what we're doing.
We spoiled. Spoiler alert.
They
talking about the last Rick and Morty episode that came out. Vat of acid.
Yeah. They pulled one of my favorite movies and used that as the twist, and that every single time that Morty rewound, he wasn't rewinding; he was just killing the Morty that it was, and then creating a new one. Like, it was just so much fun.
Yeah, I thought
pulling
they prestiged us. That's a good
movie, prestiged us.
We won't talk about that one. That's too good.
One of my favorites.
Oh man, that being said, we chatted a little bit about this beforehand. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. But I thought that it was gonna have Morty going off into his own universe with the girl that he had met throughout the episode, and like diverging from Rick, and like having that being like the off point at the end of the episode, like, oh, what's gonna happen? But we're not here to talk about Rick and Morty.
No, we're here to talk about Thor, the god of thunder.
Cinematic marvel that is Thor.
Yes.
Featuring Anthony Hopkins, which I was not aware of.
Yeah. You didn't know he's Odin?
No, we were watching it.
Like, he feels Odin, like he's Odin, like he's full on Odin.
I thought he was all right. I thought he did all right. I thought it was an interesting movie. We'll get there when we get there. We got a structure on this show. We're not animals. We have we have a structure that we follow. So get us started with talking about this episode, man. Are we doing high points
Right.
first? Low point?
Did you watch any trailers? Like I asked that, but I was just watching. There aren't any new trailers.
Yeah, it's a weird time.
It's a weird time right now. We have no new trailers. Hopefully, we'll be getting new trailers of something soon. But with this hiatus, like I cannot wait to go into a movie theater and watch a movie.
Yeah,
I had a dream about that. Did I tell you about my dream?
I think you did, but
did I say that on the podcast?
I have no idea. Tell everybody.
I had a dream that I went to a movie theater, and like this is how much I've been craving going to a movie theater. In my dream, I didn't have a hot date. I just went by myself.
Just by yourself at the movies.
I don't even remember what movie I watched. I don't remember what movie I was going to see. All I remember is getting my popcorn, getting my drink, and walking down those long aisles, going to my movie theater, finding my seat, sitting down, and then I woke up remembering, I can't do any of that today.
Oh man, I'm so sorry. That was a really sad ending to that story.
Very, very.
But you know what? We do it for the safety and health of everybody.
That's right. Absolutely.
Stay home. Stay safe. If you do go out, be safe.
But once it's safe enough to be able to go to a movie theater,
oh yeah,
I'm there.
I think those luxury loungers would make it maybe a little bit easier to stay safe
because we are a lot.
Because one, you have to reserve
so far away from each other.
And two, if you were to go online, if Cinemark was like, okay, we're only gonna make available every other seat. You can't go in unless you have a seat reserved.
Right.
So you would have to sit in those seats that are one of those seats is 4 feet wide. You got the two arms and then you got the spot for your butt. But I mean, I don't know. That seems maybe a way they could allow for the reentry of people into the society.
Right. I'm no expert in this, so I'm not going to put any more commentary onto it because
I'm not getting political. I'm just
I'm not an expert. I don't know what they're looking for. All right, so
yes,
with Marvelsode Monday.
Yeah. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about Thor, which is
Thor.
Yep. You get us started.
So, what did you think of Thor? Just a general thought process, and then we'll go into the plot, and then we'll hit high points.
I was pretty lukewarm towards Thor. It was
lukewarm.
Yeah, it was. I didn't have a visceral hatred towards it like I did with the Hulk.
Right.
I didn't dislike it. I didn't particularly enjoy it. It was just very middle of the road to me. It just felt. I thought most of the I don't know if this progresses in the season. I don't know if Thor has more character development, but I feel like this movie relied a lot on the fact that Chris Hemsworth is very attractive. And a lot of the dialogue is based around the fact that Thor is an attractive guy.
Right.
I'm like, all right, well, you can only tell me that he's hot so many times before I'm like, all right, well, say something or don't say anything. You know what I'm saying? I thought the story was fine. It was what it was. It was kind of, it's very vanilla to me. It was very, it felt like they wanted to put Thor in the Avengers. And they're like, we have to make a movie that puts him in the Avengers. Somebody come up with something. And somebody's like, there's a bad guy. And there's all right, he just fights a bad guy. Cool. What else? He loses his powers. I like it. We'll do that too. And it was just it felt overdone. I don't know.
That makes sense. I understand that. And also a lot of that stems from Norse mythology, which happened a long time before the Avengers came out. But I understand that too. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump into the review.
Okay.
While you do an interpretive dance. Yes, the interpretive dance.
Oh, man. I didn't prepare my body for this. I'm so sorry. All right. Here we go. I'll do interpretive drinking this week.
Thor. Released in 2010, directed by Kenneth Branagh, In 1965 AD, Odin, king of Asgard, wages war against the frost giants of Jotunheim and their leader Laufey to prevent them from conquering the 9 realms, starting with Earth. The Asgardian warriors defeat the frost giants on Tonsberg, Norway, and seize the source of their power, the Casket of Ancient Winters. In the present, Odin's son Thor prepares to ascend to the throne of Asgard, but is interrupted when frost giants attempt to retrieve the casket. Against Odin's order, Thor travels to Jotunheim to confront Laufey, and accompanied by his brother Loki, childhood friend Sif, and the warriors 3, Volstagg, Vandrel, and Hogun. A battle ensues until Odin intervenes to save the Asgardians, destroying the fragile truce between the 2 races. For Thor's arrogance, Odin strips his son of his godly power and exiles him to the earth as a mortal, accompanied by his hammer Mjolnir, now protected by an enchantment that allows only the worthy to wield it. Thor lands in New Mexico, where astrophysicist Dr. Jane Foster, her assistant Darcy Lewis, and mentor Dr. Eric Selvig find him. The local populace finds Mjolnir, which S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Phil Coulson soon commandeers before forcibly acquiring Foster's data about the wormhole that delivered Thor to Earth. Thor, having discovered Mjolnir's nearby location, seeks to retrieve it from the facility that S.H.I.E.L.D. has constructed, but he finds himself unable to lift it and is captured. With Selvig's help, he is freed and resigns himself to exile on Earth as he develops a romance with Foster. Loki discovers that he is Laufey's biological son, adopted by Odin after the war ended. After he confronts Odin, a weary Odin falls into a deep Odin sleep to recover his strength. Loki takes the throne in Odin's stead and offers Laufey the chance to kill Odin and retrieve the casket. Sif and the Warriors 3, unhappy with Loki's rule, attempt to return Thor from exile, convincing Heimdall, the gatekeeper of the Bifrost, the means of traveling between worlds, to allow them passage to Earth. Aware of their plan, Loki sends the Destroyer, a seemingly indestructible automaton, to pursue them and kill Thor. The warriors find Thor, but the Destroyer attacks and defeats them, prompting Thor to offer himself instead. Struck by the Destroyer and near death, Thor proves himself worthy by his sacrifice to wield Mjolnir. The hammer returns to him, restoring his powers and enabling him to defeat the Destroyer. Kissing Foster goodbye and vowing to return, he leaves with his fellow Asgardians to confront Loki. In Asgard, Loki betrays and kills Laufey, revealing his true plan to use Laufey's attempt in Odin's life as an excuse to destroy Jotunheim with the Bifrost Bridge, thus proving himself worthy to his adoptive father. Thor arrives and fights Loki before destroying the Bifrost Bridge to stop Loki's plan, stranding him in Asgard. Odin awakens and prevents the brothers from falling into the abyss created in the wake of the bridge's destruction, but Loki apparently commits suicide by allowing himself to fall when Odin rejects his pleas for approval. Thor makes amends with Odin, admitting that he is not ready to be king. Meanwhile, on Earth, Foster and her team search for a way to open a portal to Asgard. In the post-credits scene, Selvig is taken to a S.H.I.E.L.D. facility where Nick Fury opens a briefcase and asks him to study a mysterious cube-shaped object which Fury says may hold untold power. An invisible Loki prompts Selvig to agree, and he does. Scene.
There you go. Sorry, I got weird with it.
Over. You did get weird with it?
It sounded like everything you said was like in a cologne commercial.
Yeah.
Like if you whisper pretty much any word, it sounds like a fragrance.
That's one of the hardest ones to go through. There were a lot of like weird Norwegian words.
Yeah.
That
I'm proud of you. That was good. That was very good.
I'm glad that is over. So
you said all the words. It's just Thor 2's next.
Oh, man. That is Thor.
That is Thor.
So what worked? Zane?
What worked?
What worked?
I thought Natalie Portman was cute. I thought Kat Dennings was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
I liked seeing, I don't know what his name is, the Shield agent more in it.
Phil Coulson,
being more of a main character than
Phil,
just being
son of Cole.
What is his name? Phil?
His name is Phil Coulson, but Thor in the movie says Phil, son of Cole, which I thought was hilarious.
He said that, and I didn't get the joke because apparently I don't know the name.
Right.
Well, now that's funnier.
Yeah, a little bit.
I thought it had some cute moments. I thought it was kind of funny every once in a while. That's about it.
So I think this movie does two things really well.
Okay.
I think it sets up, after rewatch, like I scored this pretty low on my rankings. I was not a fan of it the first time watching it.
Did you rate it in a different spot after rewatching it this week?
I probably would. I haven't really looked at like what my re-rankings would be.
Okay.
I think after we rewatch all of them, I'm going to redo my rankings, see how different it is. Mm-hmm. But I have a feeling like this deserves to be a little bit higher than where I put it. Okay. Because it sets up future movies a lot better than I expected it would.
Like Thor 2?
Like, it sets up the Avengers a little bit better. It sets up other non-Thor movies as well. Like the entire
This felt pretty Thor heavy. Like
right. It was very Thor heavy, but like anything that happens outside of Earth can't really happen until Thor comes in to really connect, like when he's talking about how all of them, right, when he connects the entire universe together with the tree of life, that really helps set up Guardians of the Galaxy. It sets up Captain Marvel.
Gotcha.
So I think that I think did really well,
because I don't know anything about Captain Marvel.
Oh, that
we're not going to get to that for a minute. I think
it's going to be a few months. Yeah, that's a little bit far away, but what it also did, I think that it really set Chris Hemsworth into stardom. Like Chris Hemsworth was not a well-known actor before Thor.
Right.
And it made like Thor made Chris Hemsworth a star, same as Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki.
I mean, that's what Game of Thrones did for Jason Momoa. Like,
right, that's what it did for Jason Momoa. Like, that's what it did for
Khal Drogo was a good role in Game of Thrones, but like he wasn't that huge of a role. I think the reason that he exploded so much is not to say Chris Hemsworth can't act. I'm sure he's a fine actor, but like relies heavily on the like incredibly good looking human being thing. Like, holy cow.
Right. So
Hiddleston's a good looking dude too.
Yeah.
Nothing to scoff at.
No.
He is snacking.
So what didn't work?
All right. Are you ready? I gotta get my notes out.
Oh, you got notes on this
one?
Got
notes. Good. All right. The CGI in this movie was garbage.
Wow. Okay.
Real talk. For a movie that relies on CGI so much more than the movies we've watched up to this point, it was such a lower grade of production. And I don't know, maybe we can look up the budget while I'm talking. But like, I don't know how this ranks to other movies, but like, at least noticeably, so much more of this movie was CGI than I feel like Iron Man or the Incredible Hulk was. I mean, obviously the Hulk, like he is CGI, the Iron Man himself in the suit is CGI, but like Thor and his like friends, it all takes place in like this really lavish environment, and like it looked bad. And I understand like times have changed, but also I've seen Iron Man 2 and the Incredible Hulk, and those all looked great. The CGI, I think the first thing I said, like what worked with those movies is the CGI in all those movies was great, and I really enjoyed the way that it looked. And I don't know, I felt like what are the frost giants? That's what they're called, right?
Yeah, the frost giants from Jotunheim.
I feel like, I don't know if it was a budget thing, like they looked more like, some of them on the close-ups looked more practical effects, like actual makeup than CGI. But like when it wasn't a close-up shot of them looking the way that they look, like, and it was like they look like bad video game characters, man. I thought it looked really rough.
That makes sense. I see that. So just because
they looked like villains out of Power Rangers.
Yeah. So the budget was $150 million.
Okay. Now I know that that's a lot of money, but also like CGI like takes budgets like that. Like
right.
To create something out of nothing takes an insane amount of money. I wonder what the budget for Avatar is like in comparison to this movie. Because I feel like Avatar even came out before this movie did. I could be wrong.
Cameron, it had to.
But like, oh my god, it looks fantastic. And this movie it didn't look that good to me. It didn't look that good.
That makes sense. One thing to keep in mind, it was a 3D movie. So a lot of the stuff that you saw was a 3D movie. Yeah.
Okay. That makes me
hate it. I know. I agree. And it was directed by Kenneth Branagh, who have you watched the new Murder on the Orient Express?
No,
he's the guy with the mustache. He's the investigator.
Okay.
On that one, he's a very well known, classically trained actor. He's done a lot of Shakespeare in England,
like theater work.
Theater actor. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. He's very known for that. I think he was he played Macbeth in one of the first Macbeth movies that came out.
Okay.
But because of him being the director is the only reason that Idris Elba came into the movie to play Heimdall. The only reason that Rene Russo came in.
I don't know who that is.
The mother, Thor's mother.
Thor's mom. Okay.
Yeah. So there were a lot of really good famous actors that probably wouldn't have come in if it wasn't for Branagh. But I don't think that Branagh was really caring much about the CGI as much as everything else.
Well, I know that in that sense, then convey a better story.
No, you're right. I'm not saying that makes sense.
Good, might as well.
But I'm just trying to I'm trying to figure out why it was the way that it was. And that's the best reason that I can come up with. But yeah, I agree with you. CGI was not good. I really did not like the romance angle between Thor and Jane Foster.
It felt
forced.
Oh yeah, it was like
it felt really forced.
I mean, if Thor was played by somebody unattractive, and they were not unattractive, but if it was played by not Chris Hemsworth. I feel like everybody would have been like, whoa, this is kind of forced. Because the only reason that they get together is because she's like, oh my God, he's so hot. There's not a chemistry there.
Right. There wasn't enough time for there to be chemistry there. He was there for a day and a half.
Right. And they were like, we're in love. Let's make out.
But yeah, I think that was bad. I think that, it was a boring movie. I don't think they really knew what to do with Thor. They just needed Thor for the big picture.
Yeah.
And they needed to introduce that realm, that world to us.
An afterthought in the Avengers. Just crap, that's right. Thor comes in here. We have to make something happen for him. Are you ready? Okay. Also, the Destroyer, is he mentioned as a Destroyer at any point in time in the movie? I feel like we see Odin stomp his staff and he comes out, shoots somebody, goes back in, and then we're just supposed to
nobody is.
I feel I'm what is that? We're not going to talk about the big robot human being that just shoots lasers out of his face? That happens and nobody talks about it? I don't understand that. And then
I think
all right, well, we're going to send that to Earth now, and apparently now Loki can mind control it. How does that work? I don't understand, man. It just didn't make sense to me.
No, that makes sense to me. I understand where you're coming from. I think that what Marvel did, which they became a lot better at the farther along that we go, is that they assumed that the only people that were really going to watch these were comic book fans to begin with. They never thought that they were going to have to like really explain a lot of the stuff because everyone that's going to go watch it already knows. The farther along they get and the more they realize that, hey, everyone's watching these movies, not just comic book fans.
Some stuff.
What's that?
I said we have to explain some stuff.
Right, exactly.
No. Are you ready for my biggest gripe about this entire movie?
Absolutely. I'm so ready. Born ready. My soul is ready.
Everybody in Asgard has been raised in Asgard and has grown up and was born in Asgard and has lived there their entire lives, and their parents have lived there their entire lives, correct? Why does the only Asian actor have a stereotypical samurai voice?
That's funny that you brought that up because I just like right before we started, I was like, why is he Asian? Like, why is he?
He's from Asgard. Everybody talks like this, like they are from Asgard. And he's like, no, we are samurais. And I'm like, what? That guy lives here too. Like,
right.
Not from China. He's from Asgard. Like, why does he talk different?
Right. So I looked it up. And again, this is another thing that they just don't
explain.
They don't explain. Yeah. They don't explain it well. But his name is Hogun. He is a member of a trio of the Asgardian adventurers.
Asgardian, not Chinese.
Hogun is not Acer. He is not from Asgardian. He's not an Asgardian. His unnamed homeland was conquered long ago by Mogul of the Mystic Mountain, who slew Hogun's forebears and laid waste to the land. For a time, he was apprenticed to the stone carvers. He joined with Volstagg and Fendrel to judge a dare and formed a lifelong friendship. So he did not.
Maybe I
was not born in Asgard. He was not an Asgardian. He joined later.
That's a cop out.
He's the Fez of the group.
The Fez. Yeah, that's funny. All right. That pissed me off, but I guess apparently there's an explanation behind it, and I can't.
There is, and they just decided not to explain it to everyone. But on this 3, like Thor's friends was very bad. Like again, they didn't know what to do with Thor. They didn't know what to do with his friends. Like they barely made a dent into this movie.
Yeah, like, they're his friends, but why do I feel like the girlfriend like has like the hots for him the whole time, but like they've been together forever, but there's no chemistry there, and he automatically falls in love with somebody on a different planet. Like it seemed like
it's a badly made movie, and like sad to say because Thor is such a good character, and I think that later on other movies pick up on what Thor should be and the character that Thor should be. But they did not nail it down here. And I think that's a sad part of it. But other than that, it's a decent movie. It's not terrible. It's a lot of fun.
It didn't spark anything in me. Like I wouldn't.
Right.
I'm not going to watch this again.
No, there were some funny parts. Kat Dennings was hilarious.
Yeah, she makes me laugh.
When he finishes that drink and slams it onto
on the ground.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
We got to see Hawkeye for the first time, which was
Jeremy. Renner.
Hawkeye, Jeremy Renner.
My wife refers to him as, "Oh, look, it's Jeremy Renner, not Hawkeye." Just Jeremy Renner. He will forever not be Hawkeye. It's just
right. So Jeremy Renner plays Hawkeye, and we get to see him for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah, we never see him get to shoot a bow and to shoot an arrow.
I had seen Thor before, but I had seen the Avengers like forever ago. And like they were like, go up into the tower and shoot him, and then like you see him reach for the gun, and he goes no for the bow and arrow, and I'm like, what the hell? And I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna. I bet I know what's going on here, and then they showed him. I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was a very good Easter egg when everyone first saw it. Like I was in the middle of a theater. I think I went to see it at a midnight release, and everyone just started cheering when they grabbed the bow and arrow.
You're like, yeah.
knew it was Hawkeye as soon as that happened. So,
right. Well, hell yeah.
Yeah. So, where did it rank? Where are we ranking this one?
So far, we have Iron Man, Iron Man 2, and the Hulk, the 3 that we've watched. And if everybody in the chat, hello, how y'all doing? We didn't acknowledge the chat last time.
There are people in the chat. I haven't been able to see the chat yet,
according to my phone.
Oh, great!
Which is great. None of them are saying
welcome,
anything.
Guys.
But hi,
we love you.
Where does it rank? It's gonna rank number 3.
So
under Iron Man 2, it's gonna go Iron Man, Iron Man 2, Thor, Hulk.
All right.
I really think it's gonna be hard to dethrone the Hulk as the worst spot on my list. Like that, I hate that movie. It's so bad, y'all. How about you? Where's it at? Because you got not only these 4, but you have your entire list. Like
I do have the whole list.
Where's Thor
so where this ranks among the movies that we've already watched, it's in the same as you. So it's in between the Incredible Hulk and Iron Man. So I had Iron Man 2
at this point.
What's that?
We're identical so far.
Yeah, we're identical. So it's between Iron Man 2 and Incredible Hulk. So I had Iron Man 2 at 19, Incredible Hulk at 22. So it's either 20th or 21st. Where do you think I put it? You get a 50-50 shot.
It's between where? It's what's the 21st or
it's either the 20th or the 21st.
Okay. Oh man, there's a lot more movies to watch. I'm gonna say 21st.
It is the 21st. It's right above.
Okay.
And there's still a 23rd movie.
Oh, dude.
That is below the Hulk.
Dude, come on. All right. That's fine. How'd you feel about Stan Lee's appearance?
I love Stan. This is my favorite Stan Lee appearance so far into what we're doing.
Really?
Yeah, I loved it. It was just fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was I had a blast.
Yeah.
It was a funny moment, and especially in a movie that didn't have very many funny moments.
Mm-hmm.
This was funny to me. So, to set it up, Mjolnir, Thor's hammer, is in a crater, and a bunch of people are like a bunch of common folk are trying to get the hammer out of the ground, sword in the stone style.
Yeah.
And no one's able to budge it. And so they hook up a chain to it, hook it up to the back of a truck. The truck takes off, and it takes the entire back of the truck.
Yeah.
Flies off. And then that's when we pan to the driver, and it's Stan Lee and says, "Did it work?" And then he's gone.
Where is this?
So,
this is number 1 so far?
This is number 1 to me.
Okay.
Like, does this beat Hugh Hefner?
No.
No,
I think it's Hugh. This. No. I'm going to go Hugh. The one in the Hulk where he's in the fridge. Then I'm going to go this. And then Iron Man 2 where he's Larry King.
Okay.
I think that might have changed since last week. I think I've moved things around, but
maybe. Who knows? But honestly, like what I'm excited about next week with Captain America: The First Avenger, I completely.
Oh, is that what we're watching?
Yeah, that's what we're watching next week. I completely forget where Stan Lee is in that movie.
All right,
I do not remember it all. I remembered all these. This one I don't remember.
A very long time ago.
Yes.
I remember like almost nothing about it. So
it'll be fun. So are you ready for some trivia questions?
Man, bring them on. I'm here. Everybody in the chat, play along. We're going to be asking some trivia questions.
Yes.
About both behind the scenes actor stuff, and then maybe some about the movie itself. So
actually, a lot of these are about the movie. I think. Yeah, there's only 2 of these questions that you won't figure out from just the movie, watching the movie.
All right. We'll do it.
So question 1. What was unique about the horse Odin was riding during the battle in Was it B, it had two heads, C, it changes color, or D, it had a scorpion's tail?
I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't paying enough attention, apparently.
No, you were not.
I'm going to go with maybe Scorpion's tail.
A scorpion's tail is...
I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Is it wrong?
It is incorrect.
What was it?
Just like in Norse mythology, Odin rides on an 8-legged horse.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Interesting, huh?
I didn't notice it.
Yeah. I didn't notice it the first time either. And then when I rewatched it for the second time, I did a little bit of research in between, and it sure had 8 legs.
Yeah.
So that was a fun one. All right. So, what was the name on the name tag that Thor took off his shirt when Jane Foster gave him clothing?
Okay.
Was it A, Donald Blake, B, Robert James, C, James Roberts, or D, Clint Barton?
I think it was. Is it James Robert?
It is not James Roberts.
Robert James?
No, it is not Robert James. It is Donald Blake.
That's right.
Which is in the comic books, his actual alter ego was Donald Blake. He was a doctor.
Thor's?
Yeah, Thor's actual alter ego in the comic books is Donald Blake.
Okay.
So that was their little nod to it.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Clint Barton is Hawkeye's actual name.
Clint
in the comic. Clint Barton.
Okay.
And then Robert James. I don't remember where that came from at all, but
yeah,
I thought I'd switch up those names to make you think it was one of the two.
Sneaky.
I know.
Not very nice of you.
All right. So, question 3. Mjolnir has how many letter L's in its name? A1, B2, C3, or D4?
I think I watched this with the subtitles on.
Oh.
I think it's 1.
Yeah?
Yeah. I could be wrong.
Final answer?
I think there's like a J in there somewhere in there. I think it's just 1. I'm going to go with 1. Final answer.
Incorrect. It is 2.
It's 2.
2 L's. MJ. Yes, you were right about the J.
Okay.
OLLNER. Mjolnir. Just it's pronounced just how it's spelled.
Meow meow.
Meow 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 meow. All right. So far, 0 for 3. Not bad.
Not doing great. I'm doing pretty poorly.
All right.
Yeah.
So according to Norse mythology, which Asgardian was the son of 9 mothers?
God, man, I don't know.
Is it Volstagg, Hogun, Fandral, or Heimdall?
The son of 9 mothers?
9 mothers.
Heimdall. Final answer.
And you are correct.
Am I?
Yes.
Yeah.
Heimdall, the seer of all things.
Nice.
Was born to 9 mothers.
All right.
1 for 4 with the final question coming up.
Get a 40%. Let's do this.
Yes.
Oh, man. I'm ready.
In the movie, in the town, there is a big picture on a wall that has a certain phrase. This phrase is the title of the comic book where Thor was first featured. What is that phrase?
Okay.
Is it A, Journey into Mystery, B, Hidden Moments in History, C, Think Above the Stars, D.
Quick question. Are
Quick
all
answer.
of these an episode or an issue of Thor? Like, are they all
No,
valid?
just one.
You just made the other ones
I made
up.
3 of these up.
Oh, balls. Read them to me again, because that's a lot.
All right. Journey into the mystery. That's A.
Yeah.
B is hidden moments of history.
Huh?
C, think above the stars. Or D, under the god's thumb.
Think above the stars.
That is incorrect. It is Journey into Mystery. The first comic book featured. Featuring Thor. You can see it up against the wall. Journey into Mystery. And that
At least I didn't strike.
No, you still got one. And honestly, I think that one was the hardest question of the 5. So great job.
You know, I just wasn't paying attention. I had a new phone.
All right.
It's okay. I was back looking at my new phone.
Oh, look at that. Okay, coming up with excuses already. All right, so what is your MVP of this movie?
I actually have this written down.
Yeah?
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I want to hear yours first, though.
Okay, my MVP is Phil Coulson. Like, he's there. Like, he's consistently there. He is awesome.
Yep.
Son of Cole knew exactly what he was doing. And like he has become like, I think he's in all. No, he's only in Iron Man and Iron Man 2. He's not in the Incredible Hulk, which again, a great nod to him. The fact that he did not get into Iron Man into the Incredible Hulk because that was garbage. But he has been a consistent force throughout these movies, and that he's the MVP.
I have to say, my MVP is Heimdall.
Heimdall. Okay, he was a close second.
I as soon as I saw him the first time, I was like, okay, hands down, this is the coolest character in this entire movie.
Yes.
Yes. And like he reminds me a lot of Varys from Game of Thrones, where like he fights for the realm, and that's like that's his thing. And I was like, I like that. I like that he's like, I don't choose sides. Like when they're leaving, he's like, if you bring this realm into danger, you're gonna die. Like tough ditties. But I thought he's
awesome.
And also he looks so cool with like the orange eyes, and he's just like super strong. And I don't know.
And it's Idris Elba, like
super low voice. I was like, oh my God.
Oh,
I got the tinglies.
So good.
Yeah.
All right. So are you ready for Captain America, the First Avenger?
I am. Like I said, I've seen it a long time ago. I think I fell asleep during it.
I did the first time too.
But I won't this time. But I'm very excited about it. I think you're on this side of me. And you go, hey, like
nope, other way.
Hi, buddy.
And I'm
that way. Can we do a fist pump? Can we do a fist pump? I don't know if that worked. I think our arms just
probably not. Nah, close enough.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the Captain America, man.
Absolutely. So we will see you guys next week, Captain America. The announcement that I had is that next week, because I said we were going to have a huge announcement this week. The announcement this week is that next week we will have our own website. Yeah. So we are working on it. We're in the middle of constructing it, but we will have our own website with our own .com. More info to come to you guys later on, but you're going to be able to get all the stuff that we offer here at Spoiled Rotten Movies.
Because, we really care about you guys.
And, we sure do. As the outro music plays, I just want to let you know to make sure to look us up on Facebook at Spoiled Rotten Podcast. Twitter is Rotten Boys with an I. You got Instagram at Spoiled Rotten Movies. and Spoiled Rotten Movies on YouTube, where we are also streaming as well. Guys, have a nice night.
Get your podcast wherever you get your podcast.
Thank you for coming in.
We love y'all.
Yeah, get your podcast from anchor.fm. We're on Overcast now as well.
Rotten Movies.
We'll try to do better next time, y'all. We love you. Bye.
See ya.
Freeze frame.